Hi guys, it's Jen, and this is actually take 2 of this video. I was so close. I was on the last page of my Project Life that I wanted to show you guys, and my husband called to say he was leaving work, because he's leaving late. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. Usually he's out by 9:30, 9 o'clock, so. Alright, so I'm going to show you Project Life, and I got the Clementine Project Life binder, the official Becky Higgins one, and I was looking for a lot of different 12 by 12 binders that had the 3 rings, and I know a lot of you are using the Amy Tan one, and I love that one, but I also I'm one of those people like, oh, everybody's using it, so I'll use something different. I know, it's an issue. Plus, orange is my favorite color, so this actually was perfect. One of the things I noticed on the sticker for this was that it says it's made by the We Are Memory Keepers people, which explains why their inserts also fit into this, so that's really nice to know. So I am going to pick up some of those, because I just really like having lots of options for different layouts. This right here says cultivate a good life and record it. And this, it recommends keeping in the front so that when you close it, it has the weight to bring your pages back down and it protects them. So that's there, and you've seen my opening page. So this is week 1 for me, which is the week of April 1st to the 7th. And I use this really cool wood grain, and I hand cut these letters. I used this, oh, by the way, apologies to those of you who like when I use a tripod. Let me show you really quick. This is my crazy desk right now. I'm getting ready to leave for April vacation. I teach, so we have our school vacation this week, and there was no way I was going to be able to clear stuff out and get a tripod up here. So this is actually something I had bought for school like a million years ago, and I used it to trace out the letters, and then I hand cut them and just traced around them. So that's how I did week of. These are some of the Martha Stewart labels from her new line at Staples. They look like, well, that's not a full page. They look like this, and you get a ton of these. So I'm probably going to be using these all throughout the book. I kind of like that note of consistency. Another thing that I've tried to do is sort of have at least one butterfly in every page, because I don't know, I just sort of like that. So here is, oh, and these sequins that are on there, I had been looking to buy some sequins, and they were kind of expensive, I thought, for just sequins. And I found this roll at Michael's that was really cheap, and so I've just been cutting the string in it and using the individual sequins. So just in case you hadn't thought of that. It's not exactly rocket science, but that's okay. I got my sewing machine working, so I did some stitching on here to stitch this doily on. And that is my cute, adorable pup named Peanut. He is a Pomchi, and he's super sweet. This is him right after a shower, because sometimes Peanut likes to take a shower with his mama. He really does think that he's a baby and not a dog. We got him when he was 5, and he lived with a really old lady, and she treated him like a child. So, like, he doesn't eat dog food. He wants to be carried all the time. Yeah. So we inherited a spoiled dog. This is a picture of the Peeps covered in milk chocolate. Obsessed. I don't even really like Peeps, but these were kind of amazing, so I put a picture of that in there. Wrote obsessed with the Dear Lizzie stickers. Oops, sorry. This is another one of the Studio Calico butterflies, and this is on the outside of the page protector. And I've tried to do that on and off just to sort of have different textures. This is a picture of my opening page, and I realize it's right next to the opening page, but I thought if I was documenting this week, what I did this week was I started Project Life. And I have a sticker on here that says My Happy Project, and that is from this sheet of Tiny Text stickers by Cosmo Cricket. And I love these. They're all about being artistic and creating. This is one I was going to show you guys last video, and I forgot. I went onto my Pinterest, and I printed out a whole bunch of just all of these different things that I had pinned on there, and I printed them out on my photo printer so that I could use them in Project Life. So I think that should be really cool in the coming weeks. This is one, and it says, I feel sorry for people who are not smart enough to talk to their pets. And all of the doodling on here and the coloring I did with the Tim Holtz alcohol inks, and I used the alcohol ink, the fillable pen. And I hadn't really used these much, even though I have a whole bunch of them filled. And I used the fine point, and it worked awesome on photo paper, so that was really cool. This is a picture of the washi tape that I got at Target. A bunch of you have seen it. I love it. I was super excited to get it. I used some of the tape itself and some StazOn and just stamped washi at Target. This is another one of those printouts because I didn't realize I was going to do Project Life during this actual week, so I didn't have a ton of pictures. And that's true also for the next week that's in this book, since it was like the middle of these weeks when I decided, so I sort of have some filler stuff. When all else fails, take a nap. And that actually is relevant. I had this printable and I wrote, no matter how much sleep I'm getting, I've just been plain exhausted. Luckily we have 3 fur balls who gladly join us in napping. And then this is a card that I made, a thank you card, more of those Cosmo Cricket stickers, and it's my current favorite creation. Now on to the next page for that week. This is, that was Design E, if I didn't mention, or Design B, I'm sorry if I didn't mention that. This one is Design G, and I just ordered these. They're actually 10 by 12, so you can see the next page sort of shows through. But I really liked this layout, and so I thought it would be really useful, so I got a set of those. So that's the page as a whole. This is a printout that said, lucky me to have a friend like you, and I wrote about one of my friends who's actually been out, she had knee surgery, and I really missed her at work. This probably wasn't the most wonderful time to start Project Life. The first week included the anniversary of my dad passing away. He passed away 14 years ago, when I was 17. And so this is just a lot about that, because I think that you should, if you're going to document every day, you should document the good, the bad, the happy, the sad. So this was what I did that week. So there it is. I used another one of those stickers, and it said just breathe, and I used some thickers to write 14 years, and I used this dollar stamp from Michaels that said missing you today, and so I stamped that and I wrote missing you today, and then I added and every day. This actually worked out really well. I don't remember where I first sort of saw this idea. I know a lot of people had different parts of Facebook in their Project Life. So what I did was I took my iPad, I pulled up what I had written about my dad that day, and I made sure it had the date and the time and everything. And I took a screenshot of it, and then I printed that out and I put it right in my book. So that was pretty cool. This is a really old picture. It's not anything new or a picture that I took this week, obviously, but I thought it was important to the story. It's my great-grandfather, my dad, my grandfather, and me when I was a baby. And this is another Martha Stewart thing, and it just says 4 generations. I'm the only one left because unfortunately they've all passed away. To make myself feel better because I was having such a sad day, and because Scott works in retail and the day before Easter at a grocery store is miserable, I decided to give him his pirate-themed Easter basket ahead of time. And that is that right there. And all the square pictures you see are Instagrams that I've printed out. And I just put one of the stickers that said made for you. I also gave him a rum and coke with his Easter basket because he had such a bad day. And this was just a silly picture I took of him after that. So now we're on to week 2. And it's the week of April 8th to the 14th. I used some really fun, sparkly thickers. And one of the reasons I used these was because as I was looking at the first week, I was like, man, you know, there's doilies in there, there's stitching, there's this, there's that. Boy, there's nothing shiny. And if you know me, I usually have glitter on things. So I thought it was important to kind of include the things that I like. So, I'm sorry, my cord is making weird noises. This just is a printout, and it says, being a family means you're part of something very wonderful. It means you love and you will love and be loved for the rest of your life, no matter what. This is my sister-in-law's dog, and he wanted some of our dinner. And this is actually a printout. I printed out this sheet of printable labels, graph style. And to make it a little more textural and interesting, I used this dollar stamp from Walmart, part of the Studio G that they're carrying now. And I printed on the back of that, and then I just added the paw print I drew in. This was, like, my favorite picture from Easter. It's a picture I took of my husband, and he's awful. He's like, oh, you like it because you can't see my face. Well, no, I just like the way the shadow is and the light coming in. I used Dear Lizzie stickers, and I wrote Happy Easter, and I used some seam binding around it. This, I used part of a doily, and I stamped the Dear Lizzie stamp, thanks a bunch, and this is my aunt and my mom at Easter dinner. And I just put always amazing food at Sue's because my Aunt Sue is like the best cook ever. And then this is really funny. This is, of course, Peanut, who thinks he needs to shower with people and is so strange, right? Well, he sat next to me during Easter dinner, which was fine, but by dessert he wanted to be held, so this is my husband holding him while he eats dessert. This is a 12 by 6 insert in this week, And this is our wedding picture, well, one of our wedding pictures. And it's obviously not a new picture either, but it kind of makes sense when you see the back of this. I used the red sticky tape and made strips of it, and I cut out a bunch of circles using this Recollections $1 punch, which I am so glad I spent the $1 on. I just picked colors that matched like our wedding colors. We did fall colors, so. And I wrote, Project Life would not be a possibility without Scott's support. I'm so lucky he's willing to participate too, because, you know, especially because we don't have kids, if it was just me and I was just trying to take pictures and he wasn't saying, hey, did you get a picture of that, or do you want to bring that home for Project Life, it wouldn't be as good. And a prime example is he came home, he went golfing with his dad Easter Sunday, and he did really, really well, and he showed me his score, and he was all excited about it, and I realized it would fit the 6x12, the sheet, his score sheet, and I said, oh, you know, can I put it in Project Life? And he was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And I even got, and this is huge because he doesn't think he's creative at all, I got him to write the journaling for it. So he wrote, my dad and I played golf on Easter Sunday. I got my best score ever and even managed to beat him in the back nine. And I put the sticker that said in Scott's own words because I just think it's really important to have his voice in here. Because one day we do want to have kids, and so I want them to be able to see what he had to say about it too. And just a side note, what's really cool about these different sizes is here's the 12x12, here's the 10x12, and here's the 6x12, and already you're seeing lots of texture because of the different sizes. So that's pretty cool. This is the second half of week 2 for me, and the reason that I know that it goes until the 14th, which is tomorrow, but I am leaving on vacation, like I mentioned when I showed my messy desk, and so I just decided to end this week now and kind of leave the stuff coming up, because I know next week is going to be awesome. I'm going to see my best friend in the whole world and her 2 daughters, and I'm sure I'll take a million pictures of them, and, you know, that kind of stuff, so I figured I would leave, I would just go ahead and wait for that. Ooh, as a side note here, I don't know if you can see this, but the, there's like silver pieces peeling off this corner here. I'll have to look at that after. Alright. So maybe this album isn't that awesome. Alright, anyway, this is Design E. Sorry for the side note there. And it is the 4 6x6 squares. And so I'll show these to you. Obviously this butterfly is on the outside. It's from a Studio Calico kit. And I put washi tape behind here and behind the picture. I kind of have decided I like doing that through here to add some extra color. And this is just a picture of my mother-in-law's table for Easter dinner. And I wrote about how, like, we run around trying to go from family to family and we worry about it, but we're really lucky that they're both close by. They are vegetarians. My husband is decidedly not a vegetarian. He doesn't eat any vegetables. So I wanted to document the Tofurkey 2012 because I wrote Scott didn't try any, go figure, because it was just really funny. They did say it was a very good Tofurkey though. And at the top here I have this ruffle. It's a little bit hard to see. And what I did was I used this Martha Stewart punch and I punched 2 of them and just overlapped them and kind of curled them up a little bit, and I really like that look in here, so you'll probably see that on more pages. Down here in this one, it's a picture of our cat Stuart taking a nap on top of my headphones, and our cat Hamlin taking a nap on top of my husband. So, and I just wanted to document that because I knew I had a lot of the dog in there, and these 2 are other babies, so I threw them in there. And then the other reason that this week has been kind of, I mean, there's a ton of Easter and then there's not really a lot left, is that I've been really sick. So this was a picture I took the other day. I was ready to rip my hair out. I've been sick for weeks. I missed 3.5 days of work this week. And this is an awesome gift. My friend Emily gave it to me, and I documented that. It's a belated birthday gift, and she made this pot herself. So that was really cool. But I've been so sick, and I went to the doctor, and I'm waiting to hear like what they think it is, you know. But so I didn't really take a lot of pictures this week. So next week will be better, but that is what I've done so far. So that's that page, the golf insert, the wedding picture, the beginning of that week, and week 1, and the beginning. So I'm really happy with Project Life so far. I really am still excited to be doing it. I'm excited now because now I will be taking pictures with Project Life in mind, so I can do that. And one of the things I really need to do is I tend to take all my pictures horizontally, and I need to take more vertical pictures because there's just, I don't know, there's just more spaces that way. So I'm gonna work on that. And I probably won't have any videos up this week because I am going away. But one of the things that I'm going to do, hopefully while I'm there, is go to Archivers. I've never been to one, and there's one about half an hour from where I'm going to be. So if I do that, I might make a quick video of that. But I hope you all have a good week. I hope Project Life is going well for those of you doing it. I hope that you're all doing something crafty, and I can't wait to see what you're doing. So thanks for watching. Bye!